While hiking along the Red Hands Cave Trail at Glenbrook in the Blue Mountains in 2013, I had an encounter with what I thought was a small yowie, ended up being a Junjidi. So basically, being a really amateur, what could I say, not a filmmaker, never been a filmmaker, really amateur, pretty much just with a video camera, never filmed that much at all. And while I was there, I was paralleled by something in the bush. I thought it was a wallaby at first, or a kangaroo, but quickly dismissed that. When I'd stop, it'd stop, and then when I'd walk, it'd walk, and I'm thinking, what wallabies or kangaroos do that? So I got to an area where it was kind of open, or more than what it was previously, where a lot of the tea trees that are really thick had stopped growing in this area. They just disappeared. There was more paper barks and a few smaller bushes. Anyway, drizzling rain, foggy, really bad weather. I had a little towel, and had the towel over the top of the camera to try and film. What I looked at was a small Junjidi looking at me, grey face, like a bluey grey face, big almond shaped eyes. They were jet black. Its hair was black or brown. It was like 3 foot tall, and had really small features, and it was looking at me from around a tree. It got there before I got there, and while trying to film this creature, I just overshot it because it was up a bit higher than I was on the ridge, and bumbling around with the camera, zooming in, zooming out, I just completely missed it. I missed my chance. I was pretty hopeless with a camera back then. And then while looking at the video yesterday, I come across a few interesting things that I'd missed previously. So I'm going to show you guys now exactly what I found in that video recording. I'm just going to put this still frame up first so you guys are unhindered in what you can see in this picture. I don't want to steer anyone in any direction. I'm just going to tell people what I think I see, and in the end, after you see all the footage and the slow motion video and everything that I could gather to make this as clear as possible, then you guys can make your mind up. Here's the same still frame, but with a red circle around it. Yes, Dave, it has to be red. Anyway, hopefully this is not steering you guys in any direction. This is not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to find out what this is. Is it a real living creature, or is it just bits and pieces of the foliage and the rain and shadows and light making up to it look like something? And here's another shot. Well, it's just zoomed in that same frame just so you can see it a bit better. Now, the reason why I'm posting this video on here, because we're trying to find out what this creature is, like I just mentioned before. Is it a real creature, or is it a trick of Pareidolia, which is the foliage and the light and shadows and the water that was raining that day? So the biggest problem we're having in Facebook Yowie groups today is people taking a picture like this, or a tree stump that looks like a torso and a head, and then posting it online after they're taking a couple of hundred photos while they went hiking that day, and then they're saying, what do you think this is? So before they've even uploaded that, when they put what do you think this is, in their mind they already are going, it's a yowie, it's a creature, it's a living creature, when most probably it's not. It's just a burnt tree stump, or it's just a shadow and the trick of the light. And then when people start saying it's only Pareidolia, then ask questions like, did you see it move? Did you smell anything? How long were you there? The person who uploads it starts getting the shits. That's what I've seen. Next minute, big arguments happen because the person that uploaded it can't answer the questions. So the first thing that comes to their mind is anger, which is not right. You need to delve into these things and try and find out what it is. And this is what this video is all about. The first video here I'm going to show is just normal speed. There's nothing being done to it, no enhancements, anything. It's just the normal raw footage of that day. and then I'm going to do a couple of slow motions. One's I think a quarter speed and the other one's ultra slow motion, so we can start picking out things in the video that you can't see in normal speed. And then I'm going to leave it up to you guys to, you know, what you may think it is, if it's Pareidolia or it could be an actual real creature. So anyway, I'm going to play the first video and then we'll go on from there. It's in there. It was in there. Man, I just seen one. First time. I'm all shaking. So the next video is going to be quarter of normal speed. So hopefully you can pick out a few more details in this footage. This is the clearest still shot footage I could get from that video. In a second I'm going to put up another picture pretty much the same as this to start showing you the different parts of foliage and the different features in this picture so you guys can start understanding it a little bit better. Now this is pretty much the same picture, but I've color coded a few things in the picture that stand out for me. So one's the branch that's in green and it has like dead leaves and moss and everything on it that happens in the forest. Then you've got the rock bottom left, so I've lined out the shape of the rock. Then you've got the bush which kind of goes half over the face and that's all in blue, and then the two leaves that are in yellow, and one's going across the forehead, across the eyebrow ridge, and then the other one's actually leaning down over the nose brow and part of the bottom of the nose, but you can still see features of a face if you take them leaves away. I don't know, I'm just going to put something out there which I don't think anyone has ever said before. Is it double Pareidolia? Is it Pareidolia on Pareidolia? So if you take some of the Pareidolia away, there's still Pareidolia there, which still says a face. So behind all these features that I've picked out, is there a rock formation there? Is there a little dead tree stump with green moss on there and white lichens, and there's, you know, bits of wood that make it look like the hair going around the side of its head? I don't know, I'm really puzzled with this, but I am thinking it's just pareidolia. The next video is going to be the ultra slow motion. So that's the ultra slow motion version. So after watching the normal speed, the slow motion speed and the ultra slow motion, I picked out more and more features in this footage that's just leaves, sticks, rock, water, shadows, light, everything that you need to make things look like a face in the bush, which is what makes up pareidolia. So my conclusion is that it's pareidolia. It's just, you know, that right angle to make it look like a face, and all these features added up make it, you know, look that way. But if you think it's a real creature, well, that's up to you. I'm not steering you in any way. But I have one more piece of footage to show that was just to the left of this, and you can see something for a fleeting moment move from behind one of the branches. Where the arrow is pointing, that's where the movement can be seen in this footage. So, after watching this video, what's your thoughts? Is it pareidolia, as I have come to the conclusion it is, or is it a real creature? So, any comments would be greatly received, and you guys might have picked up something that I missed. So, you know, you got old footage, even though it's 10 years old, you can still pick up things. And I have certainly picked up something here. Anyway, thanks for watching, and as I always say, always hike in thongs.